I never thought a drive-in movie would leave me feeling unsafe. It was something my boyfriend and I started doing on weekends just to get away from everything. Phones, work, the noise of the city. There's this little place about 40 minutes outside of town, tucked behind a gas station and a row of cornfields. Kind of run down, but charming in its own way. They mostly play old horror films, which we love. There's something nostalgic about watching a scary movie under the stars, with a bucket of popcorn between you. That night, they were screening the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So, yeah, the mood was already a little eerie. We got there around 8, parked near the back corner of the lot. Not completely isolated, but a good distance from the main crowd. The rows in front of us were mostly filled with older sedans and trucks. Behind us, just empty space and darkness, no more than a couple of scattered cars. The movie started normally. We reclined our seats, rolled the windows down halfway, and settled in. There were a few crickets chirping and the occasional hum from a generator. You could hear the faint sound of tires hitting gravel when someone came in late. About halfway through the film, I noticed a car parked a few rows behind us that hadn't been there before. A dark SUV, lights off, engine running. It wasn't watching the movie, it was just sitting there. No movement inside, no window rolled down for the radio, just idling. I nudged my boyfriend and motioned toward it. He shrugged it off, saying maybe they were waiting for someone, or just getting high. And yeah, maybe they were. But I couldn't stop glancing back at it. Something felt off, like the car wasn't just in the lot, it was watching us. Then came the part in the movie where Leatherface first appears. Loud chainsaw, screaming. Classic scene. But right as it hit the climax, we heard a tapping sound on the back window of our car. Not loud, just one single, deliberate tap. We spun around. Nothing, just that dark SUV still idling in the distance. My boyfriend got out and walked around the car, checked the rear windshield, the trunk, even glanced at the SUV, came back shaking his head. "No one's there," he said. "Probably just some branch or a kid messing around." We tried to brush it off, but 10 minutes later, when I looked back again, the SUV was gone. No headlights, no engine noise, no one saw it leave. And that's when I noticed something new in our side mirror. A person standing at the very edge of the cornfield, barely visible in the dark. I didn't say anything right away, I just slowly locked the doors. My boyfriend turned to me. "What's wrong?" I told him to look in the side mirror. At first he shrugged, but when he really looked, I saw his expression shift. "That person wasn't there before," he said quietly. We both stared straight ahead, pretending not to see, but that shadowy figure was still there, maybe 30 feet out, standing right at the edge of the corn. They didn't move, didn't sway like the stalks. No flashlight, no phone, just watching. Every time I blinked, I expected them to vanish, but they didn't. We whispered back and forth, maybe it was a worker, maybe someone taking a smoke break. But deep down, we both knew it wasn't that. Then, maybe 5 minutes later, we looked back and the figure was gone. Not walked off, not moved behind something, gone. My boyfriend didn't even say a word. He turned the keys and started the engine. We backed out slowly, trying not to draw attention. Most people were still watching the screen, unaware of anything happening behind them. As we eased back toward the exit, I kept glancing in every mirror I could, but I didn't see anything. That is, until we hit the narrow gravel road that led back to the main highway. On the left side, just past the ditch, our headlights caught a glimpse of movement. Someone walking through the corn, parallel with our car. Same dark clothes, same height. But we never got a clear look at their face. They moved fast, like they knew the area, like they knew we'd be coming down that road. I whispered, "Keep going, don't stop, no matter what." He nodded. We didn't even turn the music back on, just drove in silence, waiting to get far enough away before either of us could breathe. When we finally made it back to town, we pulled into a gas station just to be around other people. My boyfriend got out to use the restroom, and I stayed in the car with the windows up and the doors locked. That's when I noticed it. Smudges on the rear window, not rain, not dirt. Smudges, like fingerprints. 5 of them, pressed into the glass as if someone had leaned in from the back, from outside, and watched us leave. We got home just before midnight. Neither of us spoke much. I don't think we even said goodnight. He went straight to bed. I stayed in the living room, staring at the security feed from the small camera above our garage. We'd installed it last year after a string of neighborhood break-ins, mostly kids messing around, but I never thought I'd actually be watching it for this. The feed was quiet, just our driveway, our parked car, and the occasional insect zipping past the lens. Nothing unusual. Until 2:37 a.m., I had dozed off on the couch with my laptop open. But something pulled me awake. A faint noise, like someone dragging a foot across gravel. I blinked, disoriented, then looked at the screen. Someone was standing at the edge of our driveway. They weren't moving, just standing perfectly still. Like earlier that night, same posture, same dark hoodie, same impossible stillness. Except now, there was no cornfield to hide in, just the flat, open concrete of our cul-de-sac and a single motionless figure watching our house. I sat frozen for maybe a full minute before reaching for my phone. I should have called the police, but instead I turned up the screen brightness and zoomed in on the camera, and then he moved, one step forward, then another. I watched him approach our car, not rushed, but steady, deliberate. When he got to the driver's side window, he leaned in, like he was looking inside. Then, very slowly, he turned his head directly toward the camera. He knew. I scrambled to my feet, heart pounding, and ran upstairs to wake my boyfriend. He mumbled something, half asleep, until I yanked him out of bed. We came back down together, but by the time we looked at the screen again, the feed was clear. He was gone. We checked outside. We checked the backyard. Nothing. But the next morning, we found a single thing. A deep scratch across the rear driver's side window, like someone had slowly dragged something sharp along the glass. There were no prints, no shoe marks. No one ever saw anyone come or go. The camera caught nothing after that one appearance. We haven't gone back to the drive-in since. And sometimes, when it gets really quiet at night, I swear I can hear the sound of footsteps in gravel, just outside the living room window. But when I check the cameras, there's never anything there. Just the echo of a night we should have never stayed for.